Ladies and gentlemen, I am Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran, and today we are going to be checking out more GoPro helmet cam footage from the Ukrainian Special Forces. This is Ukraine Special Forces ambushing Russian Tigr vehicles. Let's get into it, and we're going to break down just what's going on in this behind-the-lines ambush. Let's do it. Okay, this comes to us, of course, from War Leaks. Link, as always, is in the description. Now, it's worth noting that, well, let's get started, and then we'll talk about sort of the Tigr vehicle and what they're going for here, etc. But let's take a look here. Right away, you can see they've got the, I believe it's called a Vulcan. It's a modified bullpup version of an AK-74. And it also is of Ukrainian design. You can see he's got actually a foregrip, but he's angled it. So it's an angled foregrip, and he's got a, looks like maybe an M68 hollow sight. So definitely top tier gear we're seeing here. All right, so that big pop going off, it's tough to say. It's possible that it is, for example, a mine, right? An anti-tank mine, and it's telling this team that, hey, one of the vehicles has hit the AT mine, and that you can be reasonably certain that they are in the area where in the ambush zone. But you can see they're kind of moving to the site. So it makes me think that they're a little far away. It may be indicating something else. It may have just been a random artillery strike. It says it's somewhere in Donetsk. Doesn't narrow it down. Okay, you can see somebody just kicked off. Somebody fired one AT rocket. There's another one here. This seems like it is a very hasty ambush. Where you can see when they look like they've just moved into place. Here it looks like maybe there's like an aiming stake type situation where you use the sort of the natural terrain to become to form an aiming point, a sort of narrow window where when you see the enemy vehicle appear, you know to engage it. The problem is, of course, if the vehicle is hustling a little bit, your timing has to be really good. And that's why I think probably they've used a mine or some other obstacle to slow or stop this Russian vehicle convoy, and that when the vehicles appear in these sort of aiming stake gaps in the tree line, that's when they'll engage. Again, really tough to engage a vehicle that's hustling, even just like a couple, 30, 40 miles an hour. See, it looks like he's repositioning, trying to get the angle right. Gotta love the disposable rocket launcher. Truly, this guy knows. Dispose of it when you're done with it. Okay, he gets another one. You can see they're really pumping a lot of rounds into this, and I think this is actually a really interesting technique to have multiple rockets, AT weapons engaging these armored vehicles. I actually have a hard time even seeing where the vehicle is. I assume they're in there. But as we discussed, quantity has a quality all its own. Okay, that looks like a hit right there. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced these guys have actually gotten these vehicles to stop with an obstacle or AT mine and are now just pumping rounds into these stopped vehicles. You can hear they're not taking any return fire from these Russian troops at all. It may not even be an armed convoy. They may not have gunners in their turrets. Yeah, this is a really unique looking ambush. I don't really see established security. They kind of have these guys in the back handing off weapons. It's a really strange anti-armor ambush. But again, one of the things we talk about in the military is called MET-TC, Mission Enemy Terrain Time Civil Considerations. And MET-TC trumps doctrine, right? If you know things about the enemy, right, you adjust conventionally accepted doctrine to reflect that. So again, if you have these Tigr vehicles and you know for sure that they are just armored vehicles, no one's in the turret, then maybe you sit there and go, hey, we don't need to bring small arms into this ambush at all. Maybe it's like some sort of hunting style thing where you set up 2 or 3 AT mines. When one of the vehicles hits one, you hustle over to the site and you spam rockets at them, hoping to destroy an already disabled vehicle or get kills on, say, a recovery team. All of those things could work if you had certain information about the enemy, about the terrain, and about the environment that you're operating in. It's also possible these guys just have an absolute shitload of rockets and are like, we are going to be hitting this convoy. We have to hit this, VIP or something. And so we don't want to take any rockets back if we have a choice. I'm saying rockets, anti-tank weapons. I don't know exactly what kind they are, so I'm just calling them rockets. So we're just gonna throw all of our ordnance at this convoy, even if it's just us hammering away at an already destroyed vehicle. Yeah, you can see they kind of withdraw. Like I said, we saw that 360-degree look. There wasn't any security. Again, in, out. Yeah, okay, there you go. There's the, all right, that shows the ambush site. Let's see. So, okay, so there is the vehicle that they hit, but then you can see here's another up-armored vehicle. Again, as we talked about, no gunners in the turrets that I can see. Well, this may be a gunner in a turret, but it seems like possible that this was some sort of like, maybe the first 2 vehicles drove, this one hit the AT mine, or that there was some sort of minor obstacle here that caused them to stop. Either way, it looks like they got the lead vehicle to stop and they targeted the trail vehicle with the AT weapons. But you can see this door is open. So I don't know if that indicates that it was hit with a rocket and it just doesn't look as damaged as this one. It looks like maybe some munitions cooked off. It's really, really unclear how exactly this was run. It looks like there could be some battle damage to this one near the intersection. Again, maybe they hit an AT mine, stopped, and then initiated the ambush. Not super clear. Again, yeah, we're seeing someone, either this door was kind of like blown open or dismounted infantry, well, dismounted. But again, you didn't hear them engage at all. Yeah, very, very confusing ambush. I wish I had more insight to give you guys, but this is just really, really uniquely run. And again, it appears to be successful. They took no casualties, destroyed a target enemy vehicle, and withdrew quickly. So it works. Whatever their strategy was effective, which is the only bellwether that matters in combat. And I would just love to know more context about what their plan was and what this looked like. And maybe it wasn't a plan. Maybe it was literally a target of opportunity where they were patrolling. Somebody was like, they were scouting with the drone and they were like, yo, this convoy is going to pass by here. Let's try to smoke them. And they were just like, great, stop. Again, would have liked to have seen them set some security, but stop, go and do it. Yeah, I'm not certain these are still intact, honestly. All right, guys, that is all I had for you for that video. Still pretty sick to see those guys in action, in operation. And, sorry, there's one other lesson that I think is really worth taking away from this. And that is the lesson that when you have a decisive action, can trump a lot of meticulous tactical planning. You saw those guys hit their target, used a ton of firepower very quickly, and then beat feet out of there. They hit hard and they vanished. And being that decisive, so decisive that the enemy not only can't get reinforcements, but the enemy on the ground can't even return fire, that is a huge decider, a huge decisive aspect of any any engagement, but especially an ambush. And it really can let you, what's the word I want? Sort of like overpower. It's like a boxer who has just so much muscle that they only need okay technique to get a knockout. Somebody who's just got that perfect Mike Tyson punching power. You don't need necessarily flawless technique if you have that good a punching power and you have a solid chin. And that's true of combat operations. You know, you don't need to be the perfect ambush. You can really cut some corners, as we saw. Again, literally no security. Wasn't clear that there was like really good fields of fire, but it was decisive. It was hard hit, and that was enough to get the job done. Anyway, guys, if you want to see the combat video breakdowns that I can't show on YouTube, right? YouTube censorship of combat videos has been quite a bit pretty strict lately. You want to become a member of the Patreon. Check the link in the description to join the Patreon. Thanks again to our Lieutenant tier patrons. I'll see you guys later.